Hey, Antoinette, welcome to Leadership
Hey,
Academy.
good morning. Good morning. Good to see you, Jamie. I'm excited. Thank you for having me here.
And well, thank you. So, Antoinette, what does a top team look like to you?
So, a great company, a great team looks like one that is all aligned in 100% agreement. And so, one thing I want people to understand, being aligned and being in agreement does not mean you don't have any moments that you have some serious, intense fellowship, I'll call it. And I call it intense fellowship. Why? Because in order to get aligned, sometimes you got to have these tough conversations. But the good thing about intense fellowship, and the faster you can do that, the faster you can really get to that agreement. The only way anything amazing could happen, you got to have people that are 100% aligned and 100% in agreement, rowing their boat in the exact same direction. That's what an amazing team looks like to me.
Well, that sounds amazing and it sounds a bit too good to be true. So, how do you, if you talked about fellowship, how do you get fellowship so that you really get to know and understand your team? How does that happen?
One thing that we all got to do, especially when we're in these roles of CEOs or leaders of teams, leaders of people, is first of all, slow down and realize that you're managing and leading people. So a lot of times we got to slow down and start thinking first off, well, how do I get the people to trust me, to like me, and to want to run through a wall for me? So you got to plan social outings. You got to spend one-on-one time. You got to slow down and make it about the people and not always about the mission. The mission is clear.
So, how do you go about planning team outcomes?
You as a leader, first of all, you got to know what you want. You got to be so super duper clear about what you want. What does victory look like for you? What does winning look like for you? And it's all a mission. So we all got to become very mission focused.
I love it. I love it. All right. Now, with that famous phrase, don't be a fruit inspector, be a coach. What does that mean?
Walter said that years ago about being a fruit inspector versus a coach. We have a program called Boss to Coach. That's what a fruit inspector leader does. They look at their people and they criticize their people. And whenever a leader is a fruit inspector, they'll never get the best out of all of their people. What does a coach do? What does a coach look like? A coach understands that their job is to help lead the people. As a coach, you are there talking to your people all the time, encouraging your people, but you know the plays. And so a great coach knows the plays. They know what needs to be run. They know how they can get the team over this finish line and really make great things happen. And that's what leadership is all about. And so we got to remember as leaders, our number one job is really to impact people. We got to be thinking about how are we going to impact people today? How are you going to impact those same people for the next 12 months? And as you impact those people are going to impact your company.
So, how do you handle conflict on a team?
Good question. Honestly, now my personality, I'm very direct. And so one thing I think is super important and I think one thing I don't like, you can't let some like things fester in your company, fester in your team. You got to call it out right away. Make sure you have those tough conversations. And tough conversations, they're always at hand. There's always an opportunity. And I think to have that tough conversation, it's just you making yourself vulnerable and making yourself available. One of the best ways to lead people is to let people know, like, I'm here to help you, serve you. I'm here for you. So now, if I did anything that kind of got in the way of that, I always say, charge it to my head, not my heart. So intense fellowship, I'm telling you seriously, I work with my husband. So trust me, intense fellowship shows up. But one thing that I love, no matter what happens, we are very locked in on the mission. And so intense fellowship, sometimes we're not going to always agree on how we're going to get there. And we got to be willing to listen to other perspectives. So don't run away from an opportunity for intense fellowship. Don't shy away from it. The quicker you can go resolve unresolved issues, the better for your team and better for your company.
Fabulous advice, Antoinette. I think you've covered all the questions I had on my plate. I just got one question for you then, wrapping up. What's one piece of advice? What would be one piece of advice about building high performing teams that you could give for young managers that they could start applying tomorrow?
Be the CEO, be the leader. See, when you take on that identity as leader, CEO, executive, leading people, you got to change. And you can't expect your people to change if you're unwilling to change yourself. So I want you to make sure you're very clear about your identity as leader, show up in leadership models. And if you don't understand what leaders look like and what it really supposed to be, that's why there's so many books around. I mean, that's one thing I love about books, and that's why we write books. Always be in learning. You got to go first. You got to shift your identity, make sure you are the people, you're the person who serves people. Because when you're the person who serves people, oh my God, you're excited to change. You're excited to grow. You're excited to get to your next level so that your people can go along to their next level. Go be the CEO. Don't be a CEO in title only. Be it, embody it. Do what you must do to be it at all times.
So thank you, Antoinette. That was excellent. Thank you so much for being part of the Leadership Academy experience. And you have served us over the years, and we really appreciate that.